I want to share with you a few tips that I've learned over the years of doing VEX V5 that makes building a drivetrain so much easier. There's just a few things that if you are in the know about them, it makes building drivetrains so much smoother, easier, and faster, and you can get way more out of your drivetrain than you did before.
Now, one really important building technique with drivetrains is zip tying your bearing flats. Now, zip tying your bearing flats is really important because it both saves on time when you're building and it also saves on weight. It saves on weight because you don't have bolts here, and zip ties are way lighter than bolts. And it also saves on time because now all you have to do is put it into zip ties instead of screwing into bolts with the lock nuts and all that. And when you're prototyping, it also makes stuff easier because now you have access to all three holes versus just one of them if you screwed it in. Another really important thing to keep in mind is make sure your bearing flats and your shaft really slide together nicely. Sometimes you'll get bearing flats that slide really nicely along your shaft, and sometimes you'll get bearing flats or even just a hole on a bearing flat that doesn't slide so nicely. And when this happens, I like to drill out my bearing flats to be just a little bit bigger, so that way you don't end up with a huge amount of friction on the shaft. I personally like the 11/64 size, but anything really close to this size will work and do the same thing. And drilling out your bearing flats just makes it easier to line up the holes and easier to get low friction on your drivetrain. Now, when you're building a drivetrain, you might be wondering, what gear ratio should I use? There's so many options out there. That's a good question. There are a lot of different options out there, and each one has its own separate application and things it's good at and bad at. Personally, the closest thing to a one-size-fits-all drivetrain that I've come across is the 450 RPM drivetrain. That is 6-motor drive, blue cartridges on the motors, to 36 tooth gears, to a 48 tooth gear on that wheel. And that gives you 450 RPM, a nice balance, in my opinion, of speed and torque. It lets you fly across the field really fast while still having a decent amount of pushing power. And this is just an overall really nice drivetrain that I like to run on most of my robots. I've gone to the dome with this drivetrain. It works really, really well, and I would highly recommend it for most teams to at least try out for this game.
If you're thinking that this sounds really cool and you might want to use some of this stuff on your robot, go ahead and click the link in the description below for some pictures of my drivetrain and how I do stuff on my robot, and I'll provide you with all the details on that. I'll send that right to your email.
Now, one really important thing to keep in mind in your drivetrain to decrease your friction is using what's called screw joints. We have a screw joint here, a screw joint here, and what a screw joint is instead of using a shaft, you can use a screw and just have whatever it is spin on that screw. And what that does is it makes it so that way you don't have to spin the whole shaft and the bearing flat, because that can make a lot of friction. Even if you do have a low friction, it's still going to be more friction to spin a shaft on a bearing flat than it will be to spin a wheel or a gear on a screw. Now, of course, when you have a motor, like there's a motor here, you're going to need to use the shaft there so that way the motor can actually grab the shaft. But for anywhere there's not a motor, like here on the wheels, you can use screw joints there, and that just makes it so that way it can spin way easier with much less friction and not have any shaft going through. Another thing that's really important when building a drivetrain is making sure you have at least 2 bars going all the way across your drivetrain. Yes, that means all the way from the outside rail all the way across to the other outside rail, not just to these inside rails. You'll definitely want 1 or 2 extra of those as well. We have one here, we've got another one over here. But getting at least 2 of these full width C channels going all the way across. We got one there, we got another one right there. That's going to help increase the structural integrity of your robot and decrease what's called torsion. Torsion is when your robot like twists, especially in a match. When you get hit, that's really, really bad. It can make a lot of friction, cause your robot to break, stuff like that. So you want to make sure that you can't twist your robot at all, and these full width C channels can help with that. A lot of teams will also use high strength shafts instead, and that works just as well.
So that's it. Those are the tips that you need to know. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.